Hello, hello, what's going on? It is me, Jay Renard, and we are here with a quick live stream. Hopefully, it's quick. So, what we're going to be knocking out today is whoa, snap. We're going to be knocking out one of these crossbodies, and we're going to make it so that I'm going to go with some black leather, and then the top piece here. The top piece here is going to have some kind of exotic on there. I am not sure if I'm going to go stingray or if I'm going to go ostrich. I should go ostrich, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Oh, watch of the day. We got the Boulder Field Watch Titanium with the pink breast cancer awareness. So that's what we're rolling with right now. And let's get this rolling. And we got coffee to fuel the whole thing. There's coffee in both of these. Oh man. Doubling it up. All right, so let me go ahead and get more of this in the frame there. Don't mind this. Right here, this is my light. And I got the lo-fi. Hopefully that's not coming in too loud or too loudly. All right, so to ensure consistency, we're going to be using the dies. Come on, there we go. This is the top, this is one side, and this right here with the other. So let's break out this leather. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Couldn't find it for a bit. Whoa, snap. Y'all didn't see that. All right, so gonna be going with the black leather for the crossbody, and still on the fence as to whether or not I want to use, or as to which exotic I want to use. But we're gonna be using some of the best. Got that Horween. Keep it rolling. So we got to select the sections with the fewest blemishes. You know, honestly, 0 blemishes. That's the goal. And I won't be cutting the top piece from this. It'll be something exotic plus a liner. And honestly, what I'm gonna do, yeah, it's best to cut it from over here. All right, so you might be able to tell, you might not. That's my press. These are for the side tabs. I'm on the fence about using those. I find that they just make the project more thicker than it needs to be. Oh. Find another good piece. A cross right there. Of course that happens. On camera, no less. Misaligned it. But it's all good. Done with that piece. Hey, what's going on? Whoever's watching, if you dropped a comment, I didn't see it. Let me check real quick, see if I missed anything. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm knocking out the crossbodies. You probably saw the picture in the thumbnail. Normally the die cut works properly. I guess I misaligned the cutting board. I only got an impression, not the actual cut, but that's fine. That's what scissors are for. Nothing wrong with the die, just my technique was off. But reapplying it could result in a misalignment. So I'm just going to cut along the lines I already made. Done and done. Next up. So what we have here, this is going to be one panel. This is another. They'll join up at the bottom to make an H shape, like so. Actually, there's going to be a bit of an overlap. And then they'll be sewn together inside out, and we'll be left with one of these. So, whoa, actually I'm going to get that out of the way so it can't get damaged. And I just realized something. This is supposed to be the front. So let's put this back in there. I forgot to mark out this center portion where the clasp is going to be centered around. Should have went through. Yes, it did. All right. Note, that is not the proper way to use a die. However, it wasn't worth sliding it all back under the press again just to align the hole here. All chat. Cool. Also, yeah, if you got any questions, comments, let me know. All right. So, to the person watching, let me know which piece you think I should use for the accent for the front. Here we go. Please let me have enough. Hope that I do. Not enough on that piece. Da, 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 da. Here we go. All right, so I got stingray. So I got stingray, ostrich, and pirarucu. It's a fish. It's a freshwater fish. So what do you think? The freshwater, the saltwater, or the ostrich? So hopefully I get a response. In the meantime, in between time, I'm going to go ahead and prep these two. So to make the sewing easier, I'm going to be skiving down all the parts that are going to get sewn together. So all of this line here, and the same thing on this side. There is going to be a line of stitching here, but that's just to keep the lining together on this, even though I'm going to be using barge glue for it. And this is just going to make it easier after the sewing to bend it all when I flip it right side out, because it's going to be sewn inside out. So even though the stitching is only going to be about 1/8 or so of an inch in, we want to have this line here be nice and thin, just to make that turn easier. So I'm going to start with the longest edge first. Yep, and this is the front. So if you've never used the French skiver, and I'll use a Japanese skiver for the next one, it's really, really great at taking bulk out of a material. And as long as you're sure-handed, you can skive this down to honestly 0, so it's damn near paper thin. So there will be a little bit more of a body to this because I will be using a liner. See if I can. Okay, yeah. The last bit I did, the leather was a lot more giving, so it was harder to just do this. I had to do it section by section, like how I started off here. Yep. Nice and smooth. Easy to get to 0. Or very close to it anyway. Yep, sorry that took a while. All right, any inputs on which hide I should use? Yep. Again, let me know what I should put for the top piece. Either whoa, ostrich or the pirarucu or stingray. Y'all let me know. How thin is that? Not very. We can go lower. Oh, side notes. It's best when you are skiving to skive onto glass or to quartz because the blade won't dig into this like it will dig into this. So you actually have less wear on your blade. It just slides right off. Something to remember whenever you're going to be skiving, especially down to a much thinner thickness. If you're trying to get it down to 0, skive onto the quartz or marble if you're just spending money like that, or on the glass. I would use my glass piece, but I have it set up in my filming room. This is the workshop room, and it actually is a wider dimension than this quartz slab right here. So I just opted to keep this one in here. Clean the edge up. All right. Oh, yep. Got a little too close on that one. Gonna have to strop this in a bit. I think I can finish this one though. clean that up. Boom. Checking the chats. All right. And that took a while, but worth it, especially when it comes to turning the edge over after it's all ready to be sewn. Again, cleaning this up. Sorry about not really explaining the distance here, but I'm just putting in a little bit more than double the stitch line here to allow for the stitching and then the rollover. For this one, I'm going to bust out the Japanese skiver. Break out the strop. polishing compound. I don't know why it's in a second bag. The blue compound's pretty good. Honestly, blue compound's really, really great. Not very necessary. I mean, the white compound is just as good for basically everything. But the blue compound is a bit nicer. Again, just deburring. At the angle for this here, and then flat for the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to score along this line, lift up the hide just a little bit. Got that underneath, and then gonna go like so, cutting deeper on the end here. And if everything goes well, I'll have a nice clean strip. Also, the key to skiving like this is to make sure that the blade is always on the marble a bit, or a marble on the stone. That way you don't ever cut through. If I start here and I don't know that this edge here has dug through into the, like through the piece, you could cut through it. Now, since these are going to be overlapping, if on this one I cut through a bit, I can kind of disguise that by overlapping the one side here over it, but that's being lazy. Well, and just try to make sure that you're doing it properly. I cut through it because I stopped to talk. Score in. Come on. And that's why, because I flipped it over to the wrong side, talking like an idiot. There we go. Nice and thin. I could get a little bit thinner here, so let me go ahead and do that. Could be thinner here as well. Yep, look at all that. Well, truthfully, it's not pulling up much, but you can feel it in the cut, how much material there is to dig under. All right, that's a lot better. I'm gonna use this to clean up the edges a bit though. There we go. See, the biggest upside to the Japanese Skyver is you can get a lot done. This curling here is not helping me at all. Better than nothing. Wish I were left-handed for this. A little bit odd, but made it work. Sorry if you catch me breathing heavy over here. I'm actually putting forth a bunch of effort to cut through, but trying to also meter it so I don't go too far. So, oddly, a lot of effort going into such odd cuts. But hey, we gotta make it work. Does that fold? Nope. Gotta take some more off. There we go. That hurt actually. That's better. I'm just going to do this odd section here first. I know it's going to give me problems. I will be taking a break soon to go and get my dog. He was less than obedient today. Left him alone all day. That's a lie. I left him alone for 2.5 hours. I went to the leather shop, had to grab a couple of things, Took him out before I left so that, no accidents in the house. I come home. He's all super happy to see me. And inside of a few minutes in the door, he just pees all over the floor. I was gonna say carpet. I don't have carpet. And he's a housebroken dog. I've had him since February. Never had any issues with him except for just one. And you go and you yell at them and you tell them no, and you rub their nose in it, all the standard stuff, basically so they understand, hey, this isn't allowed here in this thing, in this particular place. But he just right there in the living room, just like, oh, I'm gonna pee right here, and he stares at me while he does it, and I'm like, oh, okay, this was personal. Which I don't think that's true, but still. But he is currently on punishment, which for him means he has to stay outside because he is very much an indoor dog, despite his size. See, the other versions of this bag were much further along to being done, but I realized in the turnover portion of the bag where I flip it inside, or excuse me, right side out, that it was just a lot more difficult than the first version of the bag that I did because I didn't use a liner. Ugh. So now I'm doing it properly, using the liner. Ugh. Yep, there he is, scratching on the door. All right, I'll be back. Sit. 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 Great. All right, I'm back. Doug the dog will definitely make an appearance on the stream. I just don't know when. Actually, oh yeah, that's the back piece there. And let that tack up. Yep. For those who don't know, this is a rougher. So anytime that you're applying glue to some kind of smooth surface, it's best to use something like this so that the glue sticks, or rather the surface has a stronger bond. I could go into the whole science of distribution of force and surface and everything like that, but long story short, just roughing up the surface makes it easier to gives the surface something stronger to bond to. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. And that should tack up. This is ready to go. All right, since there was no input on the which thing I should have for the surface, or rather for the top, I'm just gonna go with the ostrich. Looks good, feels good. I don't have to do too much to it to make the surface pop there. It's already got a good gloss to it, so if I add some Resolene, bam, it'll pop even more. So we're gonna go with the ostrich for the surface. Excuse me, for the flap. Some of that extra. All right, we are good and tacky there. Get rid of some of that overlap. It's going to be a little bit awkward because there's so much curl in this. Let me see if I can get some of that out. A little bit. All right. Yep. Nice solid overlap. Good to go right there. Yep. Things on here. Don't mind the shoes. All right, let's do this. I love this thing. It's a great stitch guide, but hold on. Yeah, that stitch guide was not ideal for this section here. But because there's no stitch guide, that means I'm going to have to go very slowly with this one here. All right. Of all the colors that I could have had, I did not get black, so now I got to get the white thread. That's all good. It's a good color. It's contrasting. Goes with basically everything. You know what? I've dialed in the stitch spacing, but let me make sure everything is how I want it. I might have to switch over to the Stitch Master for this one because it's so thin. Come on. Yep, it's already in reverse. Yeah, this is, or rather, this section here is too skinny. This section here is too thin, so I'm gonna have to use the glorious Stitch Master over there. Transfer. Stage transition. Come on, lay flats. Sorry if the music gets a little loud. I'm a lot closer to it. He says as he horribly handles the microphone. Just hang it here. Yeah. That's not bad. Stage transition. This is putting it into reverse, unlike the Class 4 have to hold it down. Years ago, I regulated the speed, so this is the max speed it will go. I can adjust it to make it go faster, but quite honestly, this is more than fast enough. It allows me to take care of all the stitching that I need to without allowing for the speed to possibly get away from me. very, very happy with this speed. Whoa, snap. Pull tight, there we go. Whoa. What was that about? There we go. So I'm cutting it so short because, whoa, you don't normally need it that long. All you need for is enough to melt it so it sticks, fills in the holes there so that they don't slide back in on itself. Next is going to be where I'm going to add the liner to this. And I got some new stuff. As much as I did want to use the metallic, like the bright metallic gold, I think this as an interior is going to be a nice contrast. So this and then this, boom, good to go. Love it. But I do got to melt these first. Whoa. I got a better one of these. I'll be right back. I think I didn't talk about this. I have a unboxing that I filmed for this, but this is the same. Does the same thing as this Thread Zap, but it's USB rechargeable, and the heat is managed a lot better. The heated tip is managed a lot better. This will just use less and less heat as the battery weakens. This one just doesn't fire a whole bunch of heat into the tip. So it's always just hot enough. And it'll glow red, but not nearly as high as the Thread Zap. and it gives you an indication when the battery is weak, as opposed to there just being less and less heat. So the thread zap is actually a really, really good tool. This one is, in my opinion, a lot better, but you have to order it. You can go to Hobby Lobby or Joann's or something like that and find a thread zap easily. Where am I going to add my stamp? It'd be like so. So right here. Let's get that out of the way now. Nope. I'm not going to make it big and ostentatious. It'll be right there. We'll call it good. Do need some coffee though. Thank you, Black Rifle. Hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag I wanna be. So slide me some of them sponsorship dollars, please, Black Rifle. I will very shamelessly make some sort of Black Rifle Coffee Company item if it will get me some sponsors. Right there. Right side up. Put that in the center. There we go. Lovely. Transitioned. All right. A clean workstation is a happy workstation. So let's make this thing happy. Also, my music stopped. You can't have that. There we go. I need to get a little hand broom off up in here, as opposed to my actual hand being used like a broom. All right, let's rotate this a bit. There we go. I can't say this enough. Only ever use barge in a well ventilated place or outside. If you're in a confined area or a good sized place, but that maybe doesn't have any windows, there's no fans or air to, or fans or a circulation system to keep the air flowing, don't use it. This stuff works really well, but it has a very strong scent. I'd say half the time when I'm using it, if the dog's in the room, he leaves. It's just, it's a strong one. Sure, it probably irritates his senses. So when I do use it, if he's not in here, I don't call him in or anything like that. Right now, he's in a crate. He's not outside anymore, but he's still on punishment. What is up with the sound? It's cutting out. It's crazy. This should be sufficient. More than, yeah, a little bit lower on the bottom. Not much though. Yeah. We'll let that get tacky. Whew, these fumes are something serious. And here I was thinking I was gonna finish this with enough time to wrap it all up and then go watch UFC. Nope. Remember that before you go ahead and. I don't want to talk. Yeah, exactly. Mhm. Yeah, you don't have nothing else to say. That's what. Hell no. Yeah, just don't tell me no me. Fuck that nigga. No. Into him. About you. Be a decent enough person and just walk away from him. All right, got another person watching. If you commented anything, and I'm sorry I missed it, I'll go back and check. If you got any questions, let me know. I will do what I can to try and answer. All right, I'll let that get tacky. Whoa, huge glob on there. Get that off. There it is. Yes, these two are actually not going to be very thick with each other. A little bit of bag stiffener off up in there. Yeah, let's just cut this now. Every other time it worked. I don't know what's going on here. So I'm doing this for some extra added stiffness. I mean, this is actually called bag stiffener. So, I mean, that's specifically what it's for. But this and the thickness of the liner are not really gonna match up. So, just trying to make sure that everything is nice and somewhat uniform when it's all done. Because there will be a locking clasp on this, or on the top piece. And if the top is all flimsy, it's not really going to be ideal. So you want the top to have some kind of body to it. And with the thickness of this and the liner, it just wasn't quite going to be enough. But with all three, should be just fine. Let's go ahead and cut these little stray bits off. Not doing anybody any good. Plus, some of these could go towards stuff like watch straps. Yeah, this will work right here. Now, while that looked like unnecessary extra steps, I assure you it wasn't. Uh, with the expensive hides, you got to be really smart with your cuts. I can mess up on a hide that cost me $3, $4, maybe even $7 a square foot. I can't mess up on something that cost me between 13 and 16 a square foot. That's not going to work. So cut out what I'm going to use, align it properly, call it good. Boom. There's that. There's this piece here. same for the liner. That was embarrassing. But ultimately fixed or fixable. Come on. Just a little bit up there and good. Next. Stop. I don't think you understand. Do-do-do. Sadly, there is yet another layer to add on. So after this gets tacky, I gotta add this to this. And then add the barge to this, and then put it on. It's a little crazy, but it does need to happen that way so that everything is nice and done well. You know what? We're just gonna do this to ensure the alignment. Can't mess it up when it's inside the die. There we go. If you got any questions or if I've missed any, let me know. I'm checking the chat right now. All right. But yeah, we are doing crossbodies. Again, here's an example of how it's going to turn out. I still got to add the clips for the strap, but this here, all this will be this right here when it's all done. Obviously in black with ostrich on the top. There we go. There we go. Pull and stretch this a bit. There we go. One more time. And all I gotta do is ensure that I sew it up properly. Come on, there we go. Ugh. Okay. Well, while we're waiting for that to get tacky, let's go on ahead and take care of this. Ah, almost poorly aligned it. Let's get the bottom first. There we go. Come on. All right, that was at the bottom. So line it from the top down then. See if that works. So far, so good. There we go. Woo! Almost wrecked it twice, but came through clutch. So if you don't know, Barge is a great, great contact adhesive. And you have a very, and I'm talking about seconds long window from the time that you put the pieces together to where you could disconnect them, like take them apart for realignment and not tear the material itself. I mean, it was designed well, it works well, but man, you have a small window to get it right, or rather to fix it if you get it wrong. Get this up there. Take them. See, all of this prep work before is going to pay huge dividends now because I made the edges so thin. When it comes to putting it all together, man, it's going to be dope. It's going to be dope. Super on point. There we go. That is a really nice interior. Oh, it froze. Okay, there we go. That's a dope interior right there. All right. You know what? That's going to be more trouble than it's worth. There we go. If you got any questions, go ahead and let me know. Let me check, see if I missed anything. All right. Yeah, just hit me up in the chat if you got anything. Again, this is all going to be for the crossbodies. Oh, okay. All right. Be right back. I'm going to go stitch this up. Love this thing. Whoa, snap. And of course I have to redo it. Well, I'm gonna have to redo this part, and I'm not gonna do that on camera. That is too much going on for tonight. So I'm going to redo this whole thing. Well, the whole top part anyway. And then we'll call it good. Felt like it was going through, but it really wasn't. So now I got to bring the whole section down a quarter of an inch just to do it all over again. But hey, such is life. Whoa, snap. All right, that's all I got for tonight. Peace.